Yes, Steve, good afternoon. Uh, Curious, what have you seen so far from the lineup of Cole, T. Ross, MCW, Aaron, and Cam? Obviously, they've scoreboard wise, they've been very effective.
No, I think it's been a solid group, and they're just at the beginning of, I think, learning like how to function well together. And having Aaron out there, it was good for us a lot last year, playing with the second group. It gives us another guy that can create, and it makes us a little bit bigger, so we're better rebounding the ball also.
Dan Savage, OrlandoMagic.com.
Cliff, after looking at the film, what are the areas you'd like to see your group improve on tonight?
Well, for sure, our pick and roll defense. That's what we watched today. We had a little film session, and they're a very good pick and roll team. And there were stretches, more in the fourth quarter, we were better again, but during the game, it's like early season things, and they take advantage of it. They've got guys like obviously Beal and Russell Westbrook and Ish Smith that are good pick and roll players, and then they have bigs who can both roll and flare at both the 4 and the 5, and they put a little pressure on your defense.
Karita Parks.
Hi, Coach. Karita Parks with Sports Journey. Last night, Bradley Beal said that Orlando has the Wizards' number. What would you attribute to the success you've been able to have against the Wizards?
Well, I mean, last night we played really well, and last year, to be honest, if you look at the games that we played them, they were all, I think we played them 4 times in the first 40 games, and we had games where we played very well, and they also, I don't think we ever played them when they were at full strength. So I think that has a big part to do with it. If you look at their team this year, I think they'll be much improved. Again, remember last year, you're playing the whole year without, an all-star caliber player in John Wall. So any team that loses someone like that, it's going to be a major factor. But they have 2 stars, in Russell Westbrook, Bradley Beal. Scott is an excellent coach. They're very hard to play against. And I think tonight will be a terrific challenge. I mean, we'll get their best. They're prideful guys, and it's very difficult in the NBA to beat a team two nights in a row like this.
Fred Katz.
Hey, Coach. Fred Katz from The Athletic. I'm just curious. I know you mentioned a little bit kind of the groove they caught in the pick and roll, especially in the third quarter last night. I know Russell's not playing tonight, but you've coached against him a million times before. When he kind of gets in those hot streaks, not necessarily as a scorer, but really when he gets in like those chemistry hot streaks with his big man in those pick and rolls, what do you notice gets him going? And if there is anything, what do you notice potentially breaks that rhythm?
Well, I think what happens, I think he's like a lot of the elite players is, and last night's a good example of, you have to take away the fast break baskets, which he's, it's hard to do with him. The cutting baskets, which last night we did a good job with that. The second chance points. I think like a lot of guys who are big scorers on the nights when they're not getting, as many shots and whatever pick and rolls or isos or whatever, they go to the offensive glass more, and then you got to keep them off the free throw line. And so I think usually those are the ways that they get going. What we've tended to do more lately, which is I think a trend around our league, is when primary pick and roll players get going, we just double team more, we blitz more and take our chances. And we have a comfort level with doing that, and we'll continue to do it.
Dan Savage, OrlandoMagic.com.
Cliff, how'd you emerge from last night health-wise, and will you have the same group in the back-to-back?
Yeah, we have some guys who are obviously, it's, again, early in the year, short training camp, our first back-to-back. We have a couple guys who we have to watch their minutes a little bit. Aaron Gordon, Chuma a little bit. But for the most part, I think everybody's ready to go.
Okay, Keith Smith.
Hey, Coach. I apologize if this is a repeat. I joined a little late, but is there how do you approach this being kind of unique, playing the same team back-to-back games like this in the regular season? It's kind of a rarity and rarely on the back-to-back nights.
Yeah, I mean, in my time in this league, there have been times, I think for everybody, where you might play a team, back-to-back or 2 and 3 nights, but usually, once in Washington, once here in DC, and once, back in Orlando. So this is new for us. We actually have 6 of these in this first part of our schedule. So it'll be different. And I think, again, it's going to be hard to beat a team twice. This is a good challenge for us. And, again, we expect to get their best tonight. They're a prideful team. They're NBA players. They're hard to play against. They're very well coached. And we have had no success in the last couple of years of containing Brad Beal, which we'll have to do better tonight.
Okay, we have time for 1 or 2 more for Coach. Josh Robbins, The Athletic.
Steve, we know that Cole Anthony seems to have a knack for rebounding. Why is he an effective rebounder for someone his size?
I think, he's physical. He's got toughness, and he's a, terrific athlete, very strong. He can take hits, and again, like most guys, I think that rebounding, if you look at from college to the NBA, is one of the statistical areas where usually guys that rebound well in college rebound well in our league too. And he's always been a very good rebounder.
Christos Saltis.
Hello, Coach. I would like to ask you, first of all, how different game you expect tonight from your players, and do you believe that the aggressiveness and the control of the pace from the first minute will gonna be the most crucial parts of tonight's game?
Yeah, I mean, last year, for instance, in our league, I know people always say the NBA is all about the last 8 minutes. But last year, I believe by the numbers, the most important quarter in our league was the first quarter. And I think the second most important quarter last year was the third quarter. So, we've made a big point of trying to get off to better starts this year. For our team last year, the first quarter was our worst quarter. We were actually, I think, 10th or 11th in the second and third quarters. And then in the fourth quarter, we were only okay. So we've had 2 good fourth quarters, but especially on the road in a back-to-back like this, it's important to be able to play from ahead. So how both teams start the game will be critical.
Any final questions for Coach? Okay, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.